Although only 48 of the 200 whales and dolphins that stranded in Tasmania were rescued, that survival rate is actually considered pretty successful. It takes a lot of people and effort to save beached whales. In New Zealand over the past summer, more than 400 people have taken part in whale saving lessons. On the Project Jonah course, they learned everything from crowd control to how to handle whales. Claire Sylvester discovered if you don't know some simple rules, you can easily do more harm than good.
It may be that it's still beached on the ground. If that's the case, what we'll do is we'll use the wave action to lift it. So we'll wait for the waves to come in.
Get close enough and you'll see these whales aren't the real thing. They're blow-ups and made of plastic. Yet 20 ordinary Kiwis are giving up their Saturday to learn how they would cope with a real stranding. They've already had a session in the classroom. Now it's time to get their hands wet.
I know that if I didn't have had this training and I saw a stranding, I just want to get in and help, and just you wouldn't think about what if and maybe that you're doing more damage to the animal than help. So I think being able to learn about the do's and don'ts just makes such a big difference.
It's really important not to pour water down the blowhole for starters. That's a really common mistake. A lot of people think that whales are fish, and they're obviously not, they're marine mammals. So it's important to make sure that we keep the animals wet and cool. Don't pour water down the blowhole. We need to get the animals upright as well. We need to try and get them upright and balanced so that when we refloat them, they have a good chance of survival.
These two Japanese women oppose their country's pro-whaling stance.
But when I lived in Japan, we didn't know about Japan killing whale.
They are intelligent animal, like a mammal. It's not like a fish, so we should treat same as other animal.
New Zealand has the highest stranding rate of dolphins and whales in the world, around 300 animals per year. We're the only country to have half the world's whale species living or migrating past our coast. New Zealand's coastline has many natural whale traps, compounded by extreme tidal action and our many shallow sandy beaches. Whales tend to strand when they're sick or old, or through simple navigation errors, or being blown off course.
With mass strandings, though, what will happen is the social cohesion of a pod will mean that if one animal gets in trouble, the others will come in and help. And that's why, particularly in New Zealand, we have lots of mass strandings, because we have lots of pilot whales in New Zealand. These animals have very, very tight social bonds with their family members and other pod members. If one animal gets in trouble, it will send out distress signals, and before we know it, we might have literally hundreds of the animals on the beach.
Hill has come from Tauranga. She was inspired by a recent whale stranding there.
Well, it was just more of the fact that all the people around who are willing the orca to get back into the water, and you could see how the people who were there, because I was at the end of the day, how they knew what they were doing, there was definite organisation going on, and how they controlled it, because as we've learned today, it can actually be quite dangerous if you don't know what you're doing.
Get him up a little bit more to get the pressure off that shoulder, and now Doc's going to coordinate that we do that again, and then we'll turn him around a little bit and hopefully out in the trench and off he goes.
Anybody in New Zealand could find a stranded dolphin or whale on their beach, and it's really important they know what to do, but more importantly what not to do if they find an animal that's beached. It can really mean the difference of, between life and death for that animal.
And Project Jonah's next whale saving course will be held at Red Beach on the Whangaparoa Peninsula, which is just north of Auckland, this Saturday.